In the social justice system, special snowflake offenses are considered especially heinous. On the internet, dedicated skeptics who investigate these vicious crimes are members of an elite squad known as the Special Snowflake Unit. These are their stories.
Are we live? All right. Welcome back, Wolfpack. Dire Wolf here for our weekly news recap behind enemy lines on YouTube, where speech is not free and the truth is demonetized. Alongside me is my co-host, Fox, who's also producing today.
I am also producing today, and I'm also restreaming the audio from DLive, which is probably really annoying for you guys.
Probably.
I'm also having a great time streaming today, which is really fun.
Yes. So Fox is producing for us today because my computer just shit the bed.
Well,
like 10 minutes.
It shit the bed because you pissed on it, but I mean, you know.
But it was on fire.
Details. It's on fire because you pissed on it.
So I pissed on it some more to put out the fire. It was a very reasonable thing to do.
And
before that, it was going slow, so I had to establish dominance. And how else do you establish dominance other than T-pose? You piss on it, okay? I'm not the crazy one. You're the crazy one. Also, alongside on this roller coaster is Maddie. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing all right.
Go ahead and shell out your content real quick, because I know you are a content creator and you produce news just like us.
Oh, yeah. Maddie at MWM Media on YouTube, and I also stream on Twitch. Yes, I Twitch. Mainly because I drink too much caffeine.
That makes sense. Feel free to put a link in the chat if you don't mind. So I want to thank everyone who makes this show happen. That's everyone who likes, shares, subscribes, and all those who support us financially. I want to thank you all. Ori Main donated a lot yesterday. Thank you, Nathan, Cameron, Tetris Freak, Slowpoke, Timberwolf, who also donated a lot recently, Golems, Lone Fury, Pablo Gomez, Strongarm, Hellraiser Zalon, Kalet, and Daychrist. Thank you all for donating, and also for everyone else who follows us and helps get us out there, because a lot of social media, including YouTube specifically and Twitter, are doing the best they can to suppress us. So mostly how people are finding us is through you guys, through the audience sharing our content. So that you're helping us grow. And give back to the audience. One thing we do is we have several raffles. We are currently raffling off a ergonomic anime inspired mouse pad. And also a digital Dreamkeepers comic book.
I don't know what's more impressive about that mouse pad, the amount of wrist support it offers, or the creative ways you use to describe it every time.
Yes. Gotta come with something new and fresh. Anyways, it's a good mouse pad. My wife approves. Anyways, the first story. Now, I'm not sure if you pulled up this video link.
I did actually pull it up. I'm pretty good at this whole thing here. So
right. So a little intro to what we're looking at is this is an old video, but it's something I thought would be funny for the audience to look at and for us to laugh at, just to remind everyone in the audience how deluded some people can be. There's a lot of people in America and around the world who believe that you can really fight someone with what they call chi. So if you know anything about Asian culture, you probably know that chi is the power that they think flows through you. It's like your life force, and they think they can actually knock people over using that spiritual force of theirs, to the point where they think they can use it as a martial art. This is a real thing, and we're going to show you some fantasy fighting styles, martial arts that really exist versus real martial arts.
Wonderful. All right, let's get her started here. Oh.
You sharing screen? Yeah, we are. Cool.
I am doing my best. Chi fail compilation.
Oh Lord, I watched this before the stream started. Good grief.
So when you're watching these people getting knocked down by a elderly man waving his hands, keep in mind that these people, they either are fake, but in many cases they are so diluted into believing that she's a real thing that they react as though it were.
Use the force, Luke.
There's a mixture of both, and I mean, the delusion is so much the point where this guy thinks he really can defend himself. He doesn't think this is fake. He's been faking it for so long. He believes his own lie, you know. So he thinks he can take on this actual MMA fighter. Now this guy, the MMA fighter, has respect for the guy. He doesn't. When I saw the interview, he wasn't sure whether it was real or not, and so that's why he's being like kind of cautious, right? But the reality is that it does nothing. She's fake. You okay, buddy?
Yeah, pretty much. You all right, buddy? I put you on your butt there. You okay?
I mean, it doesn't seem like a very fair fight. It's a kind of an old elderly man versus a young, strong guy, but it does demonstrate how.
You don't understand. The old man is using the force.
Yes, he's a real life Jedi.
Dow.
The yellow bamboo. Oh my god. It's the same theory. They think they're knocking people down with their force.
Somehow I think their tea is laced with hallucinogenic mushrooms.
Yeah,
that sounds delicious.
So this is a guy just grappling him and showing him.
I love the dog in there.
It's not a martial artist. This is a random dude.
I will channel my chi.
Can you
This will be
imagine
a good channel.
Nobody will devoting so much of your life to something that's completely fake? Think about all the wasted hours of.
I still really want to see a compilation of all these different styles. Let's get Joe Rogan in the Octagon. We'll make it a charity event, get 10, 20 of them lined up in a row, and then Joe Rogan just do one after the next, just round after round of one-punch knockouts. I think that'd be awesome. I think everybody would. That would be like, they thought that, who's those two YouTubers that did the fight? Was it Logan Paul and, what was that other guy's name? Anyways, as much traction as that got, Joe Rogan knocking out 20 of these guys would get way more traction.
So I love that this guy, it was a skeptic, and they're doing for a TV show. They're like, okay, I'll go in there. You try it on me. And I believe in this documentary, they're like, well, it didn't work on you because you didn't believe in it.
I like how he was. They're like, he's a skeptic, but like he was also dressed the way that you would imagine somebody who declares himself a skeptic would dress.
This guy, he looks like he's convulsing on the ground.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god. And nothing happened to him. Literally nothing happened to him, but he's...
Oh no! Oh no! I think she got some sand in her eyes and some other places.
Run over.
Is this guy just fucking with her? Just doing...
Yeah. Oh my god. That's ridiculous. If you want to defend yourself, don't do this.
Just reminds
I'll
me
just
of that
stand there.
Christian snake oil spiritual healing people.
Yeah. But it's crazy that you can really have an entire group of people who are deluded to the point where they're having physical manifestations of their delusion, right?
You know what this really reminds me of?
They're literally getting knocked down because they think they're going to get knocked down, right?
This really seems
all
like
in their head.
an analogy for like social justice and like
That's what I
their
was getting at.
leaders and their
That was
leaders.
what I was getting at.
Yeah.
So, these people have been taught and indoctrinated into a belief that something that isn't physical is physical. Something that doesn't exist exists. To the point that they have physical manifestations of and effects on their bodies of this fake thing. And it only happens to them because they believe in it. That's how strong your mind can affect your body, right? And yeah, it's really reminiscent of how social justice warriors are in physical pain because someone has a difference of opinion. They really think words are violence. Oh, jeez Louise. Anyways, I just thought you guys might appreciate that clip.
We all did.
Oh, Shadow Wolf. That was a compilation of people that really believe in the chi force and using your internal spiritual energy as a weapon, going up against people who don't believe in it and failing because chi isn't a thing. It doesn't give you don't have any supernatural powers. You can't just knock someone down by waving your hand. If you try to defend yourself using chi, you're gonna get
So
wrecked.
Dyer, is this like that movie Wanted, where if just nobody ever told you that bullets fly straight, like they could curve? Is that also fake? Can we curve bullets now?
Well, people believe bullets bullets don't fly straight, but
I want to believe
that bullets fly in an arc in a certain direction because of actually shooting a bullet and it doing that every single time.
I want to do it like the movie.
Oh well, they're wrong.
You crushed my dreams. How dare you?
In any case,
all right.
Story.
Next story. Okay, that is me and the content. So this is story B, and it is story #boycott Olive Garden. I don't remember why we had to boycott them. It's been a long news week. I'm going to guess it has something to do with racism, though. Let's find out. Last week, we had another case of fake news combined with cancel culture at its worst. It started with a few Twitter users that accused the restaurant chain Olive Garden of financially supporting Trump's campaign. I think it's going to be racist. They started with the viral hashtag of boycott Olive Garden. However, or I guess maybe pound boycott or Olive Garden. I don't know. However, according to the official Olive Garden Twitter account that responded to multiple accounts that this tweet allegation, Olive Garden does not donate any campaign, including Trump's. The story was pure fake news, but it resulted in thousands of people, based on no evidence, calling for a boycott of all those tasty, endless breadsticks.
Exactly. The people making the accusations may be trolls, making a joke of cancel culture and harming a company just for fun, or they could just be really rabidly stupid activists. It's hard to tell these days. Either way, they may have cost Olive Garden a lot of money, depending on how many people actually believe the lie. The problem is many people, thousands of people saw the lie, but very few people saw the truth that said that no, they actually had not donated to Trump at all.
Well, that's usually how it happens.
That's sad for them. After Olive Garden commented that they don't make donations to Trump, those making the accusations clarified that they believed that the owners of Olive Garden had made political donations, even if the company did not. But again, Olive Garden responded saying that even the owners had not donated to Trump's campaign. It was just more fake news.
Now, it's very possible that some employees of Olive Garden have donated to Trump. In fact, employees of Olive Garden have donated to both parties and many candidates because they're all their own people, right?
How dare they?
However, more importantly, it shouldn't matter. It's stupid and wrong to try to damage companies and people that support candidates you don't like. What this tells me is that you don't have a better idea to argue with, and that you are authoritarians who want to use force to control society through fear. you clearly don't care about the working class if you're willing to risk them losing their jobs by attacking the company they work for.
Isn't this just really similar to the... they keep doing this. They did this with Chick-fil-A, which, who knows if it was real that time. But they just did this with what's the Joaquin Castro? Is that who it was who released all the Trump donors? I mean, they just went through the scandal of, you release Trump donors and you're releasing people who you haven't verified. You don't know who they are. You don't know why they did it, and it's just there's no reason for it. It's completely absurd, and they just keep doing it over and over again.
Yeah, they're encouraging a division and hatred of the other political party. That's what they want. They're trying to divide us. Just because someone has a different political opinion or voting for someone else, it doesn't mean that they are your enemy. Like,
well, because that's what the implication is, right? Like the reason why they are talking about who's donating to Trump. The reason why they're doing that is because the implication is that only a racist would donate to Trump. And so that's the implied threat there, is that we're going to release your name and we're going to call you a racist for donating to Trump.
And the real effect they want is, they want to harm the person or the company that supported Trump, but more, they want a chilling effect. They want everyone to see that these people get outed and embarrassed and have backlash, because that they're hoping will prevent other people from donating to Trump.
Yeah,
that's what they want.
Yeah, it's the twofold. They want to shame the people who currently support him, and they want anybody who might support him in the future to be scared to do so.
And think about how authoritarian that is. And you know what? Your backlash should be to seeing stories like this. It should not to be afraid, because what you need to know is half the country is standing behind you. And even a lot of people who vote Democrat, they don't support these tactics. So more than half the country is behind you and saying, no, we're not for outing and demonizing people because of who they vote for. So what you should do to respond to this is, whoever candidate you do support, that they're trying to scare you out of supporting, support them more.
Yep.
All right.
Put it in their face. Show them that this tactic doesn't work. Because if you show them the tactic does work, they're just going to do more of it.
So if you want to show them up, you should go donate to Trump. But if you want to really make them mad, you should toss us some Streamlabs and get your name up on the top of the screen, which is a quick reminder that if you do donate via Streamlabs, your name will pop up and I will be forced to read whatever degenerate thing you put on there. But if you pay $10, it'll read it out for me, and I won't have any choice but to sit there and listen to whatever's in your head.
Scary.
That's dangerous.
It is terrifying. Absolutely. All right. Next story.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
All righty. Well, this is a fun next story. All right. Trump declares war on climate change. Vows to use first strike nuclear option on hurricanes. Finally, About time. Finally, someone is taking the war on climate change seriously. I have just had it with the gimmicky proposals to murder all the cows and drinking pumpkin spice lattes through goopy cardboard straws. I'm tired of the doomsday clocks and the multi-trillion-dollar Green New strategies and keeping my thermostat at the frosty 84 degrees in the summer. AOC said this is our World War II, and I think it's about time we went on the offensive, using the weapons that won us the last World War II.
That's right. We need a nuke climate change. The revolution that Trump wanted
the revelation
that Trump wanted to nuke hurricanes came from Axios early this week, when an anonymous source told them that during a meeting that was presumably about hurricanes, that Trump was quoted saying, I got it. Why don't we nuke them?" The source said that one attendee responded that they would look into it, the possibility, but that after the meeting was over, everyone was actually thinking, what the fuck do we do with this? Oh,
wow. Now, I'm no meteorologist, and I'm not saying that this would actually be a successful strategy, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't want it to be a workable solution. Dropping a nuclear weapon on a hurricane, that's way cooler. That's a way cooler way of dealing with climate change than putting oil execs in prison and implementing a $16 trillion Green New Socialist agenda.
At some point, are we going to address how horrible of an idea that would be?
Yeah, no kidding.
Is that somewhere later in this article?
It sort of this next section.
Okay, so commenting on the leak was CNN's April Ryan, someone who we did a story on a few weeks ago after she sent her private goon squad to physically assault another reporter, suggested that nuking a hurricane was racist because the explosion would create a ripple effect that would affect black people living on the African. What about all the white people and everyone else living everywhere else this would be affected by? Oh my god.
Oh, I see how it is, Dyer. You only care about the white people.
Hey, all lives matter because all lives are affected by nukes. Okay?
Especially hurricane lives.
You, cis white male.
I'm talking about a high altitude explosion of a nuclear device that's going to spread nuclear particulate all around the globe. I mean, this is not, it's going to affect Africa. It's going to affect everybody.
Dyer, you just want to suck the fun out of everything, don't you?
Oh my God. I don't think this was a serious proposal.
Well, on whether or not this was a serious proposal, Trump denied the report, saying that he never actually suggested that. But Daily Wire contributor Michael Knowles suggested that Trump may have actually planted this story in an attempt to bait a leaker. Potentially a confirmation of his theory was the resignation of a key Trump aide a few days after this story broke. She reportedly resigned after being caught leaking details about his family.
That can knock people out. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
Oh. Timberwolf called me my bluff and posted something that got read aloud. Did you catch what it said?
Not quite.
I can go back and reread it. Let's see here. I have a Chief Force that can knock people out. It's fueled by Taco Bell. Ew, that's gross. I know what he means. I get it. Anyways, so Michael Knowles suggested that maybe this was maybe Trump actually did say it, but he didn't really mean it. He was just trying to say something outrageous to bait a leaker, and be able to trace back the source to the people that he knows that he told. So again, maybe related to the story, but maybe not. It hasn't been confirmed. But one of Trump's key aides actually resigned after a few days after the story broke, and she resigned because she was caught leaking details about Trump's family and the White House to reporters. But still unknown if these stories are actually related. Okay, so
I really would like to believe that he was coloring the waters to try to find out who was the leaker, because that'd mean that Trump really does play 5D chess. But even it wouldn't really jive with the story, since he apparently said it to a room of people, not just like that one person. And according to that source, which apparently might have been this lady, he said it a few times, but it still sounds like a joke. Who would honestly suggest nuking a storm as a solution?
It doesn't. I mean, well, I'll read the closing shot because it doesn't sound like it's something that you agree with. I think that the key takeaways here are, and I guess this is just me personally, I think this, is that one, CNN can relate anything to racism with their previous comment that Trump was only doing this because he doesn't like the African continent.
Well, clearly that's why.
Yeah, it's clearly that's the only reason why. So
this is just a roundabout way to nuking Africa.
Yes, good job, CNN. Good job for figuring that out. Slowpoke donated $2. I'll nuke your ... Dyer. You thought I was gone, didn't you? I told you I'd be back. My blanking will not be denied. I don't know what those asterisks were supposed to be, and I don't think I want to know.
Oh, something dirty.
It was 100% something dirty. Anyways, another key takeaway is that this does sound like something that Trump would actually say. I will admit that. But it really isn't any more ridiculous than some of the suggestions that other Democrats have put forward for solving climate change. So, I'll also give him that. And then number 3, deep down, if you're really being honest with yourself, I think everyone except for Dyer, I guess, really, really wants to know if this would actually be something that would work. What would actually happen if you nuked a hurricane? Come on, everybody kind of wants to know that.
Okay, so honestly, let's think about this. Nuking a hurricane and irradiating a little bit the entire globe would probably be less destructive to the United States than the Green New Deal.
That is true.
Yeah, it would be far less destructive. It would still be bad.
From a science perspective, I believe that the idea Trump was going for was maybe the air blast would be able to break up the hurricane, but I think you could accomplish the same thing with a fleet of Moabs, and I think we could probably do it with that. But who knows?
Yeah, I think what he's referring to is you could disperse a storm with enough large yield explosives at altitude, right? But that would be insanely expensive, and also, I don't think we have that many Moabs, nor would it be a Moab that we'd use, but something that size,
Maybe that sounds like the start of a movie. We would use the Moab to try and blow up the hurricane, and instead of blowing up the hurricane, it would make the mother of all hurricanes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not going to happen. You're not going to nuke the storm. But you know what? Florida had some advice for the incoming storm. It's heading towards Florida now. They told people to not fire their rifles at the storm.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yes, because apparently you can't shoot a hurricane.
Were they having a? Never mind. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Dyer, did we have any announcements about donations and the hurricane this weekend?
We did announce it, but I will announce it now.
Okay.
Half of all donations that we're getting today are going to be going towards the inevitable
relief effort
fund for the people who are about to be hit by a pretty large storm, one of the largest ones Florida has faced. So there's likely to be a lot of damage, and a lot of people need help. So if you guys donate money today, half of that will be going to them.
Yep. That'll be a nice gesture. But yeah, it hasn't hit yet, but I think that there's just a 100% chance it's definitely going to hit. If not, it's definitely going to hit Puerto Rico again, which, as annoying as Puerto Rico is, this is not good for them. It's very dangerous for the people there, and they're definitely going to need some help. So if not for Florida, we will send it off to Puerto Rico because they are definitely going to get hit, which is
the problem with Puerto Rico is their infrastructure and their their support from their government in the case of bad weather is so terrible that a light rain can result in loss of services and multiple deaths.
Well, and also all of the money for their relief effort typically gets stolen by their lovely representatives.
What's that? I think the word you're looking for is corrupt.
I think you're right.
Not to mention that the last hurricane that blew through there was, because I remember covering this stupidity. They were told not to call anybody to come and get their dead, that the coroner would have to go around and legally pronounce the deceased.
That's lovely.
So yeah, they had also the problem of the U.S. sent a lot of workers. A lot of them were military volunteers, and that went down there to help. And when they're sitting in trucks to help put up new power lines and phone lines and stuff, and they just sat there doing nothing because there was no materials to work with. And that we found out later that all the materials that had also been shipped from the States to give to the workers were just sitting in large hangars and warehouses, not being distributed because of the Puerto Rican government just not wanting to let the work go as fast as it possibly could, because it'd make the local workers look bad.
Well, and also it wouldn't be able to, if the work was actually being done, then they couldn't call Trump a racist for not doing the work.
Right. But he sent the people. He sent the supplies. They didn't use them.
Yep.
All right. Well, like I said,
they'd rather let people die than let their own workers be outpaced by the volunteers somehow that was a bad thing.
Yeah, so hopefully they all fare better. If anybody's in the Florida area or has family in the Florida area or Puerto Rico, good luck to everybody. Stay safe out there. And as we said, half of all the donations tonight will go out to the relief efforts over there. So, all right, next story, which Dyer, I know I got the first paragraph here, but I'm gonna let you say the title because it is unpronounceable for me.
Okay. Invasion of the Hackers from space.
You gotta say the other part. I don't know what that is, but Dyer just at the notes has www and I don't know what that means.
That was what I was gonna say if you read it.
Anyways, first paragraph. Last week, a person was accused of committing the first crime in space. Well, that's a pretty big step for man. NASA, which I think I'm about to get I think I'm about to get corrected here. NASA astronaut Annie McClain, who apparently is a female, not a man, so first big step for woman. Man just stepped on the moon, so what do we know? Has been accused by her ex-wife, oh man, a lesbian at that, of hacking her bank account to look at her purchases. Her ex-wife, Summer Warden, a former Air Force intelligence officer, alleges that McClain had accessed her account on her bank's website using the NASA computers aboard the International Space Station.
Man, their Wi-Fi's better than mine.
It's right next to the source.
Right?
They have all the Wi-Fi's up there.
Yeah.
You know what that means, right? It means that 100% of the crime in space has been committed by women, despite women only making up 11% of all astronauts. Also, 100% of crime in space has been committed by lesbians. Not sure what that means, but that's a fact.
I want to make a comment on that, but I'm also going to hold back. Miss McClain says that this story is false. Oh no, we also got a lying lesbian in space too. That sounds like a weird thing you'd find on something that rhymes with Cornhub. Lying lesbians in space. She says that the story is false and that it is only the most recent series of allegations made by her ex-wife during their very contentious custody proceedings over their son. Oh, that's sad. Yeah, I don't need to see a kid involved in this. McClain added that she had been given permission to access Miss Summers' bank account. Something I find hard to believe.
If you're in the middle of a contentious divorce settlement, why would they give you permission to their bank account? Just saying. I highly doubt it. Sounds
suspicious.
But yep, this is a milestone in our society. We have our first crime in space, and it's very, very diverse.
Yeah, girl power. Wait.
Yeah, girl lesbian power. So we got a female member of the LGBTQ who did something for the first time in space. They say they never get to do anything first, but they got this one down pat. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Congratulations.
That's exciting.
Put that feather in your cap.
So, all right. Well, it is that time of the show where we say goodbye to YouTube. Although, since I'm producing and I don't know how to stop streaming to YouTube without streaming to everything else, we might be continuing on with YouTube.
I turned it off. It's all right.
Okay. Dyer took care of that for me. So I have a round of applause for Dyer, please.
So, YouTube audience, before I turn off the YouTube broadcast, go follow the link to D-Live below and join us. Dyer Wolf on D-Live.
Yes.
You can continue watching.
That would be dlive.tv/direwolf.